Congratulations to the 2021 Green Power Leadership Award winners. I'm thrilled to be able to join you today via video, and thank you to the Center for Resource Solutions for organizing this outstanding event. EPA has a long history of collaborating on the Renewable Energy Markets Conference, and we're honored to be this year's organizing sponsor. This year marks the 30th year of climate partnership programs at EPA, 30 years. EPA partnership and investment programs are critical elements of the agency's climate approach, working hand in hand with the private sector and others to achieve more than would be possible through federal regulations alone. Shining a spotlight on businesses that are true leaders, making a significant impact in reducing their own carbon footprint, helping to advance clean energy more broadly, and demonstrating that clean energy makes sound business sense. These programs have delivered impressive results. EPA climate partnership programs helped avoid more than 6 billion metric tons of greenhouse gas emissions. In 2019 alone, these programs drove reductions equal to 8% of total US greenhouse gas emissions. These are pretty amazing statistics, and they truly show the power of partnership and what the private sector can accomplish. EPA launched the Green Power Partnership 20 years ago to recognize leaders in green power and spur competition and marketplace innovation. The Green Power Leadership Awards are an important part of our program and reflect the accomplishments of our private sector partners and the unrivaled ability of American businesses to innovate. This is a critical moment to be recognizing the nation's leaders in green power. We face overwhelming science telling us that we must act boldly now to confront the climate crisis. The companies we are recognizing today and so many others across the nation know that confronting climate change isn't about sacrifice, it's about opportunity. The bipartisan infrastructure deal and Build Back Better agenda highlight these opportunities and point to a bright future for solar power, good jobs, and more affordable energy. The annual Green Power Leadership Awards is our opportunity to recognize the American enterprises leading us to this goal. I'd like to congratulate this year's winners, Boston University, Dane County, Wisconsin, Microsoft, Starbucks, and the University of California. We also know that we cannot solve the climate crisis without bringing all Americans the benefits of clean energy. And we know that the most severe harms from climate change fall disproportionately on underserved communities. That's why the EPA Green Power Partnership is working hard to make the path to decarbonization affordable, inclusive, and equitable. And we're counting on the Green Power Leadership Award winners and others for innovations and inclusive approaches to ensure our work together supports underserved communities. So congratulations again to all the Green Power Leadership Award winners. Your work is helping to bring about a clean energy future and a safer, healthier planet for all of us. Thank you again.
Welcome to the 2021 Green Power Leadership Awards. These awards recognize individuals and organizations that are building markets and demonstrating leadership in green power procurement. The awards are presented by the US EPA and Center for Resource Solutions. EPA's Green Power Leadership Awards honor and recognize this year's highest achievements among EPA green power partners. These organizations have made commendable steps to build and expand the voluntary green power market in the United States. The evaluation of EPA Green Power Leadership Awards includes 6 distinct areas. These different criteria serve as a roadmap for any organization striving to be a leader in green power with the goal of earning a Green Power Leadership Award. The first criterion is an organization's intention and ambition to establish and achieve renewable energy or greenhouse gas reduction targets using green power. Target setting is a crucial part of leadership. An organization's green power use and investment demonstrates leadership, drives demand, and increases market impact. The third is communication. Leaders communicate about their green power use to help raise awareness, provide an example, and inspire others. Fourth is influence. Organizations often play vital roles in their communities and sectors. Leading organizations use their influence to increase green power access and use in their communities. Fifth is transparency. Leaders are willing to collaborate, share information, report data, and advance best practices and market principles. Finally, the criterion of innovation, sustainability, and grid improvements. leading organizations act innovatively to help create a more sustainable grid and help accelerate the transition to a clean energy future. Let's begin with the first winner, Boston University. EPA is recognizing Boston University with its first Green Power Leadership Award. BU earned this recognition through its exemplary use of green power, specifically its work around project placement. EPA is also recognizing BU for its engagement in the greater Boston community and leadership in higher education. In late 2020, Boston University began procuring wind power through a virtual power purchase agreement, or VPPA. This VPPA provides the school with 205 million kilowatt hours annually, equivalent to more than 19,000 homes' electricity use for 1 year. This is the single largest active VPPA by any of the 126 colleges and universities in EPA's Green Power Partnership. BU's VPPA is located in South Dakota, not locally, a location chosen due to its carbon-intensive grid. By choosing to place its project in South Dakota, BU reduced emissions from this region and met its green power goals. Boston University is very active in communicating its lessons learned around its green power investment via workshops, presentations, and other means. By its own count, BU has influenced 18 other organizations ranging from corporations to municipalities to pursue similar renewable energy projects. The second winner is Dane County, Wisconsin. Dane County, Wisconsin joined EPA's Green Power Partnership and won its first Green Power Leadership Award the same year. EPA is recognizing Dane County for its use of green power, creative collaboration, and commitment to expanding access to renewable electricity. Dane County currently uses green power for 45% of its operational electricity use, which accounts for more than 20 million kilowatt hours of green power annually. Dane County ensures that renewable energy certificates, RECs, substantiate its green power use, a key consumer best practice. Dane County is leading the way when it comes to community engagement. It has instituted several local recognition programs, including a Climate Champions program and a Clean Energy Map, to showcase and celebrate local accomplishments. These programs have enabled more than 75 local governments and school districts to adopt more green power at a faster pace. Using positive reinforcement to spur more green power adoption and allowing the entities to learn from each other is a best consumer practice that all organizations should strive to replicate. Dane County also funded a county-wide expansion of the Madison Backyard Solar Grant Program to help reach a greater number of diverse, low-income residents and neighborhoods. In addition, the Madison program is also working to bring solar installations to affordable housing projects. These efforts help ensure that clean energy's economic and environmental benefits are available to all local residents. The next winner is Microsoft. EPA is recognizing Microsoft Corporation with a Green Power Leadership Award for its commitment to green power use, dedication to under-resourced and underserved communities, and electrification of its standby power at its data centers. This is Microsoft's 8th EPA Green Power Leadership Award. Since 2014, Microsoft has used 100% green power in the United States. Annually, Microsoft uses more than 6 billion kilowatt hours of green power in the United States, ranking number 2 on EPA's National Top 100 of Green Power Partners as of July 2021. In 2020, Microsoft tied its renewable energy purchasing to environmental justice and equity in under-resourced communities through a 500 megawatt power purchase agreement. This agreement will also provide $50 million in community-led grants and investments pulled from power purchase agreement revenue. These grants and investments will focus on education, career training, land restoration, and clean energy and efficiency programs. The fourth winner is Starbucks company-owned stores. Starbucks is receiving an EPA Green Power Leadership Award for its use of green power, prompting its supply chain to use renewable electricity, and expanding access to green power in the state of New York. Since 2005, Starbucks has been a Green Power partner, making it the longest-standing partner out of the winners this year. Its annual green power use of more than 1 billion kilowatt hours is equivalent to the annual electricity load of more than 98,000 homes. All of Starbucks' roasting and distribution facilities in the United States use 100% renewable electricity. Starbucks has shown leadership by helping expand access to green power to others in communities where its stores operate. In 2021, Starbucks invested $97 million to build community solar projects in New York State. Participants receive a discount on their current electricity rates, which helps make green power more accessible and affordable. The final Green Power Leadership Award goes to the University of California. EPA is recognizing the University of California with the Green Power Leadership Award for its green power use, community engagement, and aggressive goal setting. Since its last award in 2018, the University of California has increased its green power use by more than 300 million kilowatt hours, tripling its percentage of green power use, from 15 to 46%. This increase was due in part to the addition of 18 on-site systems. The University of California has also demonstrated its commitment to community engagement and local impact. Through its Clean Energy Optimization Pilot, the University of California is connecting individual campuses with local electricity suppliers. Additionally, this first-of-its-kind greenhouse gas reduction pilot encourages campuses to implement actions that reduce emissions suitable for its location. This approach rewards campuses for focusing on actions that help the environment the most. More information about all the EPA winners can be found at epa.gov/greenpower. Our next awards are given out by Center for Resource Solutions. On behalf of the staff and board of CRS, as well as the Green Power Leadership Award Selection Committee, we would like to thank this year's Green Power Leadership Award winners for their outstanding contributions to building the market for green power. CRS is proud today to announce the 10 winners of this year's Green Power Leadership Awards. Our first category is market development, and we would like to congratulate the California Community Choice Association. CalCCA represents 24 member aggregators in California, serving over 11 million customers in over 200 cities and counties. CCAs drive new clean energy project development in California, with long-term PPAs totaling more than 6,000 megawatts. In the last decade, CCAs purchased more than twice as much renewable energy as required, over 46 million megawatt hours, and more than 80 California cities and counties are working with their CCAs to receive 100% renewable or 100% carbon-free energy as their default supply. Our next winners are Google Inc. and MRETS, which together are piloting a concept known as time-based energy attribute certificates, a new hourly approach for verifying clean energy matching at Google data centers. TACs are time-based instruments that, in addition to tracking how and where electricity is produced, also certify specifically when that electricity was produced. Google is now piloting this concept with MRETS, the Midwestern Regional Energy Tracking System, to incentivize approaches to supplying carbon-free energy exactly when and where it's most needed. Our next winner is Microsoft Corporation, which has committed to being carbon negative by 2030 and run 100% of its operations with renewable electricity by 2025, including all its data centers, buildings, and campuses. In June 2020, Microsoft announced its largest power purchase agreement to date, a 500 megawatt PPA with Sol Systems that ties the purchase of renewable energy to environmental justice initiatives and equity in under-resourced communities, representing a scalable model for how corporate renewable energy procurement can address issues of climate equity and environmental justice. Our next winners are Seattle City Light and the Washington State Housing Finance Commission. To expand the renewable energy market to underserved communities, Seattle City Light and the Washington State Housing Finance Commission together designed a solar financing program for both affordable housing and low-income service providers. Eligible providers can receive below-market rate loans and an upfront payment for the first 5 years of REC generation. This program provides a crucial income stream for social service organizations that otherwise wouldn't be able to finance an on-site solar installation. Our last winner in this category is the Solar Energy Industries Association. As a direct result of the pandemic, the solar industry saw significant disruptions that caused job losses, project cancellations, and upheavals in the solar economy. SEIA was instrumental in securing essential work status for the solar industry. New installations continued, with solar accounting for 43% of all capacity additions in 2020, the largest share in the industry's history, ranking it first among all generation technologies. In addition, SEIA's leadership was essential in securing the critical 2-year extension of the Solar Investment Tax Credit. Our next category is international market development, and our winner in this category is Microsoft Corporation. Last year, Microsoft purchased the first ever Peace Renewable Energy Credits, issued from Congolese solar developer Nuru's newly commissioned 1.3 megawatt commercial solar plus storage project in Goma, DRC, where less than 3% of residents have access to electricity. This purchase helped Nuru install and operate 35 mini-grid connected streetlights that improve safety, allow businesses to stay open at night, and reduce reliance on diesel generators in an area without grid infrastructure. This transaction unlocks a new renewable energy attribute option that other organizations can now leverage to drive renewable projects in underserved communities around the globe. Our next category is leadership and education. Our first winner is Bonneville Environmental Foundation. CE, Clean Energy Bright Futures, is a national clean energy, career-connected education program from BEF. With a focus on educating youth within Native communities, this year CE was able to train 60 educators and reach over 6,000 students representing 9 states and 20 tribes. CE developed a summer program to build Native student leadership and piloted a virtual regional clean energy talent development hub that brings together industry and educational stakeholders to broaden public perspectives and opportunities for educators and students in clean energy. Our final winner in this category is Climate Action Pathways for Schools. CAPS partners with under-resourced public school districts and disadvantaged communities to advance STEM education through sustainability projects. Students developed projects that reduced energy costs and greenhouse gas emissions, including a district-wide energy conservation program combined with tracking solar performance that saved one district $320,000 in energy costs and reduced greenhouse gas emissions from facilities by 13%. Paid interns work on energy conservation, energy efficiency, renewable energy, transportation, and waste reduction programs in their school communities. Our final award today goes to this year's Leader of the Year, Chris Pennington, a true leader in the renewable energy industry who has worked tirelessly as a thought leader and collaborator. Chris Pennington has outsized influence throughout the industry. He has worked with retail providers to establish innovative solutions delivered through accessible retail channels that help make renewable energy the norm for large corporations, rather than the exception. At Iron Mountain Data Centers and through his work with the Renewable Energy Buyers Alliance, Chris has shown forward-thinking leadership. In 2020, Chris led the effort to install the largest data center rooftop solar system in the U.S. and continues to work on accelerating grid decarbonization through corporate energy procurement strategies. Congratulations, Chris, on being this year's Green Power Leader of the Year. CRS would like to commend all our Green Power Leadership Award winners this year. On behalf of all of us working to promote clean energy, congratulations, and keep up the good work.